What's up? We're in the Brooks Theater about to interview Sydney. Setting up right now. Charbel.
Got a tripod.
What about this program?
I'm gonna put World Cinema above our hands.
This is the title card. Ready?
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go ahead and start then. Sydney interview, take 1. World Cinema is the fastest growing major at Clemson.
This is really indeed the major of the moment.
World Cinema is one of the 3 undergraduate programs in the newly formed Department of Interdisciplinary Studies.
It's a film theory program, kind of balances history, production now, and gives you sort of a really global perspective on like the art of filmmaking. I'm Sydney Olson. I'm a 2024 graduate of Clemson World Cinema. I am currently working in LA. I just recently left Miramax, which is the company that I started with, to accept a position as an executive assistant for a producer. I think World Cinema was able to steer me in this direction because it, above all else, encourages passion and like the love of the art. I felt inspired by the people around me and inspired by the program, which is what gave me the drive to want more. It's a program where you have to create the opportunities for yourself, but you're very supported through everything, and that's how I was able to intern in LA my final semester. And so I went out there as the only one from Clemson doing the internship that I was a part of, and I think that set me apart in general, just that it's a program not many people have heard of. But because it has such an emphasis on theory and craft and all of that, it instills, I think, a deeper appreciation for what we do out there.
The theory and criticism and history courses teach the language of film, which is imperative. And then I am building the side that teaches the execution and making of films. I'm Sam Sokolow. I am a professor of practice in World Cinema here at Clemson University. This is my second year here. I come here after a decades-long career producing movies and television in both Los Angeles and New York. Clemson is known nationally and even internationally for a lot of things. It's known as one of the greatest, engineering schools in the world. It's known as a great agricultural school. It's obviously known as a great sports school, has one of the greatest football teams in the history of the sport. I want the Clemson Film School to be synonymous with those things.
I think we have a really impressive film studies program, people who know their stuff. I am Dr. John Smith. I'm the director of World Cinema. I think students learn how to live in a visual culture, right? I mean, we're surrounded by images all the time. Sometimes they come at us rapid fire. I think one thing we learn how to do is how to deal with the images that come at us. We think critically about them, whether we're watching news on television, whether we're watching a film at the local Cineplex, whether we're streaming a film. And I think that's important.
We learn to analyze image and image communication. We learn how to use images rhetorically, to persuade, to enlighten, to entertain. I'm Aga Skrotzka. I'm an associate professor of film and media studies at Clemson University. I came here in 2007 to build a film studies program. With the help of my fabulous colleagues, we created the World Cinema major.
As a Clemson student, we're a STEM school. It's all about engineering and all that. And so there are humanities here, but we're kind of pushed to the side. And so being a World Cinema student, we don't have a whole lot, but we make do with what we have.
A lot of people sort of get this idea that art degrees are futile, which is not true.
This is a problem for most arts programs because it's small and because it's fun and it's because everyone interacts with film. It's sort of like it's a thing that we see every day. It feels so saturated in like our day-to-day life. I'm sure to most people seems like something you don't have to work very hard to understand.
The arts in general just aren't really taken seriously as careers.
Why we're not taken seriously? I kind of want to go outside of Strode Tower and scream that we are very serious, but I think all those who know what matters and how culture works know that this is a serious major.
It's difficult when you're really passionate about something and you're in a school that does not really share that passion, to find somewhere where you can go. And I think World Cinema was just the perfect major at the perfect time for me.
I chose Clemson and specifically World Cinema because, as far as I know, we are the only school in the state that offers this program specifically.
World Cinema is important to me, and I think to all those involved in the program currently, students and faculty, because it's something that allows for us to use media to process the world. As we study film and film industry, film history, we get to critically assess the impact that cinema has on society.
Films can literally change the person watching them. And if you can change the person, you can change the world.
Filmmaking is important because it's, I think, the most palatable global medium of communication. It's like the most accessible for like inciting conversation, I think, on a global platform. Everybody, I think, watches movies at some point in their life, or at least interacts with media. It's visual and auditory, so it can really communicate, and I think as exciting as it is and as flashy and fun, there's a real impact that comes with, you know, something that you see on screen, and everybody interacts with it. And I think that there's real stakes involved there, and like a responsibility if you're going to work in this industry to know that you're communicating on such a grand scale. I don't think that there's really anything more important than filmmaking.
Why does filmmaking matter? Well, I mean, there are people who are responsible for these images, right? There are people who create these images, who organize these images in meaningful ways, who create arguments out of these images. It's part of this visual culture that we all live in. So I think one thing that students get from this program is how to learn to navigate through this kind of culture professionally, right?
I think our jobs as teachers here is to give the students the greatest capacity to not only tell stories technically with cameras, but to understand how stories on film are told in an emotional way, in a meaningful way, and in a way that can have some resonance.
You know, we don't have like a ton of professors compared to some other majors, but our professors are good.
The professors and the faculty are all like so personally invested in our success, and they want to see us succeed. And so there's just a really encouraging and like bright culture around World Cinema.
It doesn't seem like anyone is discouraged by the fact that the program is small, more so that they're driven to expand it. And that's something I think that World Cinema instills, is like the humbleness and the hunger, and so the willingness to, I guess, start where you need to start and not, you know, expect the moon like immediately. Everyone in the program now, I think, is on the same page that like we want more, and we're the ones that will have to get it.
The more I learn, the more I'm realizing that there are so many avenues I could take to make this my career.
So there are job opportunities in every corner of this world to work in the entertainment industry and be a part of the storytelling experience. I want our students to be armed and ready to compete for those jobs, excel in those jobs, and be a part of an industry that's not going anywhere, is only going to continue to grow, and has a meaning far greater than I think people, you know, understand when they first hear about it.
World Cinema means everything to me.
Joining World Cinema completely changed the trajectory of my life.
Why not spend the rest of my life doing something that I truly enjoy and that I'm passionate about?
The fact that I am so recently graduated and feel still so supported by the program and the people within it, and so eager to give back, that's what's driving me through my career, is like to get to the point where I get to help World Cinema in a way that actually matters. And I don't think that that's something that everybody graduates with, like such a, not a debt, but like a desire to give back to your program because of all that you got out of it. And I think it's so special. I don't think you find something like this anywhere else.
This is where I feel most inspired creatively to express myself.
With World Cinema, we have like the opportunities to actually act on those like dreams that we do have.
I'm super excited about where we're going.
We're building the next generation of filmmakers right here at Clemson.